says live, but there's no pic. There we go. I think it's working now. Let's see. Okay, now I think I can share it. Jesus fucking Christ with this shit. Yeah, no, that's a dick I like to suck. Alright, I think I got it working again. Dear Lord. Wait, now I gotta check my headphones and see. Ow, ow, ow! Yeah, fuck. Testing 1, 2, 3. Alright. Good.
Or hurt yourself.
No, that's this is why I needed Slave, aka an intern. I have one at Laugh Factory. Now I just need one for everything else. Alright. Jesus Christ. Let's see, is this live now? Damn it. Oh, great. Now I don't have this. Oh, shit. Okay, good. That's good. Oh, shit. I literally had everything working. And then I look, and then I noticed this thing was set to private. And because I set it to public, it counted it as its own video on my feed. When I was just doing tech tests, I had to delete that video and then go back and start a new stream. Hello?
Yeah, I don't know what any of that means, so I don't know how to respond, really. Good, I'm glad you got it figured out.
Yeah, that's why I said it's a long story, because I'm like, there's no fucking way I'd be able to articulate this. Alright, so there you go. Invitation sent. So let me check my phone here, because luckily I didn't share anything on social media yet. Let me check on my phone how it sounds. I literally had everything working, and then I noticed that okay. It's working. Whew. So, let me share this to everything else. Oh my god, I actually started only 5 minutes late? Holy shit. That's amazing. There we go. Woo! So I guess we can start now. Hey everybody, welcome to You'll Probably Agree. Today, as always, I'm joined by John Davies to talk about Star Wars The Bad Batch. And we didn't get to talk last week because, I don't know, like, things happened, life happened, I got busy with stuff. But we're here doing a double header of episodes 7 and, no, fuck, I fucked it up. It was 8 and 9. Thank God John corrected me on that. I corrected that in the thumbnail for the video. So, having said that, I guess we can start with episode 8 and then go to episode 9. How you doing, John?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just glad to be watching some fresh Star Wars. You know, it's nice. Nice they're doing something with the franchise other than whatever the hell they've been doing. Yeah. It's good. How you doing? Yeah. Happy Friday.
Now, are you inside? Did you get my invitation? Hello?
I got it.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Nice. There we go. All right, let's start a game. Yeah, so, yeah, it's good to see some new Star Wars, something that's not, you know, the same shit again and again. We're not seeing Skywalkers and all that. We're seeing all the animated series characters getting together, which is going to be fun. But let's go, like, to give a little recap of episode 8. The Bad Batch are stuck on this garbage planet. They're basically on the hideout, right? Because the Empire's... No. They find out the Empire's hunting after them. This was previously from a job either on the garbage planet. They find out the Empire's hunting after Empire's hunting after them. They run into Crosshair, and we find out Crosshair is leading the tactical group to take him down. Or we knew that already, but now they had their encounter with him, and Crosshair gets in over his head, tries to outsmart the Bad Batch, and of course they end up burning his face in with an engine. Long story short,
with an ion, and that was amazing.
Yes.
I love that part. He just makes one of the biggest mistakes he can and just like literally cooks himself with the Star Destroyer engine.
So how exactly did he make that mistake? He thought he had him hostage, but they placed the explosives underneath.
He thought they were trapped, yeah, but they, the Bad Batch ended up blowing half of that engine away so that they could fall through it. And
yeah.
What they blew away was going to protect Crosshair and his buddies, and Crosshair ended up like cooking himself. Basically, it was hilarious, actually.
Yeah, it's because he's a moron. What can I say? Oh,
yeah,
let me just and then so after that happens with him, after Crosshair gets burned, Omega runs into a very familiar face, which is Cad Bane, who's basically, I just called him Blue Clint Eastwood for the longest time until I could figure out what his name is. And so Blue Clint Eastwood...
For Star Wars being like a spaghetti western in space, it took them long enough to actually have a gunslinger.
Just straight up throw in a fucking western character. Like everyone eventually...
Yeah.
I feel like your franchise, whenever your franchise gets old enough to a certain point where you're going to put in a Western character, like it's happened with Mortal Kombat even. They have a dude who's like a Western character you can play as. And in Star Wars, it was always partially Western, but it really went Western after, I'm not sure the first one was entirely Western though. The first one was more like Kurosawa. No, it was Western, of course, with Han Solo in the bar.
Western, and that's kind of how I see them.
Yeah,
inspired by.
Yeah, it's an
if
amalgamation.
Tarantino made those movies,
concept.
it'd be like, you ripped them off. You ripped off all this. Whatever. But anyway, Cad Bane back in the picture, which is awesome. He's one of my favorite side characters.
Yeah, he captures Omega. And it almost looks like he's gonna shoot her at first, but we know he's not gonna shoot her. That would have been fucking crazy. He said, "Sorry, milady," and he just takes out the blaster, and then it just like fucking blows a hole through her head. And he's like, "Oops, I thought I put it on stun." Then it just ends. Oh god. But that's my dark sense of humor.
Luckily, that didn't happen when we get in.
Yeah.
Continuation of the story. It's.
What is this? Directed by Ryan Johnson?
Yeah, right. Now, it's just nice of them to reintroduce characters that we those of us that have seen the Clone Wars and blah blah blah. Like we've seen Cad Bane. Like it's nice to reintroduce him in a cool ass way.
Oh yeah. Because the way they introduce him is you could tell there's a bunch of clones dead around there. They're like, who did this? The smoke is still coming fresh off the plastic of their armor or whatever the fuck the armor's made of. And from there, you see that Cad Bane is there and he's just standing in the corner talking shit. And you find out, this guy probably went in a draw with them and probably knocked them all down. That's why when he said to Hunter, when you see one clone, you've seen them all. He knows what he's talking about. Like she was saying to him, he's a bounty hunter, don't fuck up. He was like, don't fuck with him. And now we really found out why she doesn't want to fuck with bounty hunters. But we'll get into that later. But yeah, he captures her. She grabs him. And immediately when that happened, I think I sent you a text and I just wrote, oh great, another Save the Child story.
You know what that was going to be. It's going to be back and forth.
Yeah, because it's the same shit as the Mandalorian. It's the same exact thing. Oh no, they captured Grogu. Go save Grogu. Oh no, they captured Omega. Go save Omega. The only difference here is what Omega means and what all these characters mean. But please stop trying to save the kids. I think Omega is still hostage, but whatever. But yeah, having said, I mean, outside of that one criticism though, it was a pretty solid episode, I'd say. It was a great sort of reintroduction to a lot of the animated characters that people like. And I can't remember, was that the one with Fennec Shand in it, or no, she was in the one after that?
No, she's in the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and before we go on to episode 9, I wanted to, I don't know if like I mentioned it on the show, but Cad Bane is the one who, in a deleted scene from the Clone Wars, like it was just an unfinished scene, he's the one who shot Boba Fett in the head, right?
He did?
He's the one that dented the head. Yeah, they have. You can look it up. There's like an unfinished scene from the Clone Wars, and there's like a standoff between Cad Bane and Boba Fett.
It was too graphic, and they had to delete it.
Cad Bane actually shoots Boba Fett in the head, but they literally reuse that scene and just place Hunter on top of the Boba Fett for that scene right there. And there's side by side comparison of the two scenes, and it's kind of awesome actually, because you still get like this badass sequence of Cad Bane being Cad Bane, but he's not shooting Boba in the head. He's just taking, who was it, Hunter? He's just shooting Hunter instead. It's awesome. Look it up. I'll send you the link if I find it again.
So he basically, so now that's no longer canon, like how Boba Fett got the head dent then? Was it still Cad Bane?
It was an unfinished scene, so it was never... It was never canon. It was like it was a scene that was like 75% complete with animation and all that, and they just never finished it.
Is it because you think like someone like from the Disney office came in, or maybe at the time 20th Century Fox office came in and said, "Hey, that's too violent. We can't put that in there."
No, it was during the height of the Clone Wars. Tons of people died. They murdered children in that show.
Was it like on camera where you see? Nah. Like if you saw him shoot him in the head on camera.
Yep. It's just an unfinished scene from the Clone Wars television show.
Did he? So he had the helmet on and he shoots the kid in the head. Wow, that's fucking cool as fuck. But yeah, that's too bad. That's not canon. So now they swatched out for the other guy. Oh Jesus! I got 2 clone troopers after me. Fuck you! All right, he's dead. These guys ain't stormtroopers. You gotta remember that. So, having said all that, with the clone troopers fighting after the clones and them knowing about the inhibitor chip, I'm wondering where we go from there. Now that all their inhibitor chips are removed, and now we got the clones hunting, are they just going to go around and pull what like Star Wars did with Finn, where he was a stormtrooper his whole life, and then like instantly he was cool with like shooting other stormtroopers?
Yeah, they've already done that. Like it's already the Bad Batch versus, the Empire for the most part.
Well, you had
mentioned that you were thinking that maybe the Bad Batch, like, helped start the rebellion.
Yes.
You know it, and I think you're like dead on with that.
I think so
if
too.
If they don't like literally actually start it, like they have a huge hand in it, because in the first episode or the second episode or whatever, Tech gets the ability to hide their ship's signals from the Empire. And that's something that the Rebellion is known to use, so I think at minimum you're dead on with that theory.
Right. Yeah, no, because I was thinking that too, because I'm thinking we have Ahsoka, who was with Rex while he saw his own, brothers just fucking murder Jedi who were very close to them, and then he had to kill his own, and he saw what the Empire did. He saw how evil it is, and he said, like, he doesn't want to have to kill any more of his brothers. And I think he's going to try to find a way to save them all. And then they're going to rebel against the Empire, and they no longer followed orders, and they really helped kickstart the rebellion. Do I think they started it? No, they already started the rebellion in the deleted scenes of episode 3. When Princess Leia is, or not Princess Leia, Queen Amidala, Senator Amidala, whatever. I mean, nobody, her character wasn't that memorable.
Starts the rebellion. I guess as soon as that, like, the shit hits the fan, basically, that's when the rebellion starts. But as far as
Actually,
like giving like the rebellion like a head, they don't immediately get annihilated. I think we're gonna be thanking the Bad Batch for that once the series is over.
well, there's a deleted scene in episode 3 where it's like Padme is talking to a young Mon Mothma, and they're talking about separating themselves from the Senate and all that because they can see that it's becoming power hungry and this and that. So they're starting a rebellion. And Lucas says in the commentary this was the start of the rebellion, but I ended up deleting this because I wanted to focus on Anakin's story and his rise to becoming Darth Vader instead of the rebellion. So it started, I think, in that meeting right there with Padme and a young Mon Mothma, and then I think it develops through, Rex. Like, he's a huge part in the rebellion, because if you see the previews, he's talking to young Forrest Whitaker, so they already had the rebellion going. They had it going earlier this season, like in the second episode. But I think Rex is really going to start building it up. So now we're on dead air, but no. Outside of so how do you think the rebellion's going to start on the show?
We're gonna see hopefully we're gonna see the first grouping of them in this show, whether it be like ships or like the first rebel base or whatever.
Yeah, I think we saw some of those in episode 3 when they were flying around. Like in the first, in the first battle sequence, you see like early X-wings and TIE fighters and stuff like that. They already have early TIE fighters on Camino. There was like one of the Kurosawa wipes when they were going to that.
Oh yeah, they had some.
Yeah.
Some of the ships that you play in this game.
Right. But having said that, was there anything else you wanted to say about the 8th episode before we move on to the 9th one?
That's pretty much it. I think we covered majority of what happens in an episode.
Yeah, I don't think there's not much to say.
Cat Bane comes in, whoops some ass, and takes Omega, and then boom, episode 9.
And I'm glad it's not filler. I just hope it's not another Save the Kid plot, which it's just looking like it's going to be. But then episode 9 happens, and do you want to give a quick recap of what episode 9 was?
The first part, for the most part, it starts off, with the guys getting away from Crosshair, who's chasing them down in their ship. They literally just have to let Omega go because Omega's been captured, and they're like, "We're going back for her." Like, dude, you can't go back for her. She's gone. The bounty hunter has her.
Yeah.
So they get away. They get away from Crosshair, and then from there they're just like, "Okay, how do we find her?" And of course, they miraculously find her.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we're seeing some Cad Bane action. We're seeing some Fennec Shand action versus Cad Bane, which is an amazing chunk of time on this episode. Like that whole fight sequence between those two is awesome. That's a lot of fun.
Oh my god, I got my ass kicked in this match. Yeah. So and now we find out why everyone is after this child, just like Grogu. And the thing is, it connects to Grogu in a way, and I guess we can just get into spoilers now. I think 20 minutes in, we'll get into spoilers. And just like Grogu, she has blood that's used in the same... okay, sweet, thank God. She has sort of like the same blood you saw in those tubes like you saw in Mandalorian, which you also saw in Rise of Skywalker, which are basically like the clone Snokes leading to the clone Palpatines. And this is a very long project in the making. And if I'm going to guess anything, because there's this very eerie scene where she's in the cloning facility and she sees all these test tubes and she's looking at them almost as if she knows them in a way, but she doesn't. We'll get into that later. But as you can see, I think Palpatine always had a plan. Like, he knew he was going to die. He knew Vader was going to kill him, and he had a plan for afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on the in the opinion that, you know, she's quite possibly a bigger character that we're going to see later in the series. Like, my first thought was that she was, you know, possibly Phasma. I mean, not only does she have special blood, but she's an identical copy of Jango Fett, just like Boba Fett.
Well, I was going to say, that's the thing. Is she's Boba's sister?
They're clones, so yes and no.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, yes.
She's like, you know, like Boba Fett's an exact copy without any of the upgrades or without the inhibitor chip or whatever. She's the exact same thing. Boba Fett was codenamed Alpha before he was given
Boba
the name Boba, or before he took the name Boba. Whatever happened there, we don't know. Jango probably gave it to him. And she's Omega, so that's first and last. So there's some kind of plan going on there that, yeah, like you said, like we don't know 100% of what the Emperor's doing. But I'm still thinking that, you know, quite possibly these, you know, Filoni and Phage are digging Star Wars out of one of the deepest holes possibly ever dug and trying to explain where the hell those Emperor clones came from. And if these inhibitor chips are inhibiting something, like what if they're inhibiting midichlorians?
Yeah.
What if they're inhibiting the clone's ability to use the Force because the Emperor got in there and put his own DNA, or whatever you want to call it, in the mix? And, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, 60 years later, or whatever it is, years later, where the sequel series comes into play, like that's where all those Emperor clones come from. He's like, he had those guys. He built those guys, or he had those guys built or bred or made, or whatever you want to call it. He had them cloned. Yeah. Like, that's where those things came from. And that's, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that they do something that's like save the sequels the way that they saved the prequels. And I guess I had a couple episodes before, like, Star Wars in general is like, it's kind of hollow storytelling. There's like a whole bunch of stuff that they just don't tell you about. You're left to wonder when it comes to the films. But the animation and the live action television shows so far have come in and like filled in that hollowness and like answered a whole bunch of questions and made you, I don't know, just made a bunch of it make sense, especially the Anakin story, you know. In Revenge of the Sith, we're like, okay, like he's just a crying little baby. Who cares? Yeah. You know, he's whining about not becoming a master, but after watching 7 seasons of the Clone Wars, you're like, oh yeah, you know, now we understand. You kind of feel bad for him.
He was essential to that war, and they just blew him off.
They bring, they solidify the hollowness of what is happening, and hopefully this series is starting to do that for the 3 sequels that we got.
Well, especially what they did with Ahsoka, how they totally betrayed her, and like Anakin went out of his way to defend her, and it didn't really matter in the end, you know, because they just wanted to go, oh well, you know what, no hard feelings. And the Jedi were always assholes. I figured they were kind of assholes when I saw Revenge of the Sith, when Anakin said, someone I care about I think is going to die. And then Yoda goes, well, don't think about them. You have to let go of them. Like, fuck you, asshole.
Like, everybody dies. We're special. Like, what?
Yeah.
What if we can save people? That'd be great, wouldn't it? Nah, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
What? What the hell are we doing? That's what Anakin was mad about. Like, what are we doing then?
Yeah,
if you guys aren't going to do anything, then I'm going to join this dude, and we're going to do something. We're going to bring order, because you guys are idiots.
Yeah, because this guy's making sense. I mean, it still doesn't explain why he murdered a bunch of children. That was a little extreme, but whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, and getting back to, you know, Boba and Omega being brother clones, sister, whatever the hell they are related. They're exact copies of each other.
Yes.
But is it possible that Omega grows up to become Kira from the Solo movies?
I mean, it could be any character they want to write.
That's Emilia Clarke's character. They have been put on or they have been noted recently to say that they are bringing her back in some way or another. This would be a nice way to, give her an origin story. And I don't know if you remember at the end of that, of the Solo story, like you see her and she gets to ship or whatever. Well, but she has Mandalorian armor.
Yeah, I don't
There's
remember all
Mandalorian
that.
armor in that collection, and it could possibly have been hers from the beginning. I don't know. We'll see.
I think it's more like she, I don't know. I was thinking about the Darth Maul scene. They're going to try to connect that for some reason to like a Darth Maul series eventually. Because you got to think about it from Disney. They're thinking about all the cool shit we want to see and we want to have shows get made about. And they want to have it get made by fans who love that cool shit too. And actually like give it some layer and depth. So I mean, I'm not sure if Emilia Clarke's character is in high demand. I'm gonna guess they try to like make her, like you said, like Phasma or something like that. But then, nah, she wouldn't be Phasma. They'd have to make her something cooler. But we'll see what she is. But if I were to guess, I'm gonna guess if these writers want to have some real guts, I would have Omega like get to know Boba at one point in the story, like as a boy. And then like Boba doesn't want to get close to anyone because he got close to his dad and his dad died on her. And then the same fucking thing happens to Omega. She dies on him. And she gets close to him, and that's why it grows so resentful and so powerful. And they are going to maybe connect that to the Book of Boba Fett. Or you'll see like a grown woman live action version of Omega will be Boba Fett's sister, which I don't know if they're going to be that lame. It would be cool if they just kill her and like just gets angry that way. But just don't give Boba Fett the Force. I don't want to see Boba Fett like Force pushing someone. That's stupid. He's cool because he's skillful, not because he has the Force.
Yeah, another rumor floating around is that Fennec Shand is getting her own lightsaber, so who knows what the hell's happening with that show.
Yeah, I don't know. What's that character?
That's wild.
What's that actress's name again? Ming-Na Wen?
Yeah.
Yeah. She
was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and she's on the Marvel property. She's there.
Yeah, so they're going to keep that contract with her going. Oh man, I killed Anakin right while he was in the middle of taking his dump.
Yeah.
But, no, she's on that. It's funny, I just saw her recently in the Joy Luck Club. I was telling you this, I think, like, last night. Yeah, god damn, her performance is so bad in that movie. Like, she seems like a fine actress, but oh boy, that wasn't a good performance.
Okay.
So if you were to guess, well, what's your, so now that we know that Omega is Boba Fett's sister, do you think we'll see Boba Fett in this show?
Yeah, definitely. We're definitely going to see him at some point.
Yeah.
Because we know now that the two different bounty hunters are working for opposite sides of the Kaminoan people.
Yeah.
It's hard
the Kaminis.
But it's two Kaminoans basically.
Yeah.
That have hired each of the two different bounty hunters. So that's kind of nice that
Oh yeah.
Ahsoka's still like in the background and maybe not even involved in the series. We don't know yet. Like that'd be kind of nice. They just sneak her in later or not even.
Well, I think
It's kind of cool that they're like sticking with Star Wars and like not giving us lightsabers and force powers and all this stuff. It's like there's other stuff going on besides that, which is kind of cool that they're doing that with this show.
Until they put in lightsabers and force powers again.
They will. It's coming. I mean, we all know it's coming.
Yeah.
But we also know Thrawn is coming too. So.
Oh yeah! Don't make Thrawn force sensitive. Just make him a badass.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like this is the other side of Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's the tactical side. It's the regular people doing regular stuff side.
Now, did they ever say who they were gonna cast as Thrawn?
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah. Oh, I thought for a second they said they were gonna actually cast the voice actor as him. The guy actually does. I don't know who the actor's name, but
Lars Mikkelsen, I think.
Yes, I believe
I think that's right.
Yeah.
That does sound correct.
Yeah.
That would make the most sense.
Yeah. Yeah, he would be, I mean, that would be interesting, but I would love to see Michael Fassbender play Thrawn. My God, he would be fantastic. He would be the perfect cast. I'm going to start a petition going for Michael Fassbender to be cast as Thrawn.
I don't know. After Covenant, I've had enough of that dude.
Nah. Yeah, so that movie didn't work out. That's not his fault. That was the script.
Again, I'm not looking forward to him as Magneto anymore.
Well, he's not Magneto anymore anyways. He wasn't looking forward to coming on set as Magneto either. He was coming in there like, yeah, let's do this.
Have you not seen the latest episode of Loki? Of course he's Magneto. Everybody's everybody now.
Oh, wait. Did they say
It's
that?
anybody's any... What? No,
did
they
they
haven't
say
said
that in Loki? I don't remember.
The multiverse exists.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're going to bring him back. They're going to bring back Ian McKellen. I don't know if they'll bring... they'll bring them both back, Ian and him. They'll all be together, and it'll be like... That's basically going to be their Avengers Endgame climactic battle. Like, everyone from every cinematic universe, like, fighting together and against other people.
Yeah, multiverse war.
That's what it's going to be.
Doctor Strange is going to set up. Yep.
That's the whole plan. Good luck, Disney, because that's always worked in the past. Actually, it could work, though, if one person is put off as Disney, but every dog has its day.
They will. They just need to buy a couple more companies. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they just need Universal now, and then they need who else? Maybe Disney will buy A24 one day. Who knows? And they'll own the independent market. Holy shit! Yoda just like pushed me across the fucking room, and then like a couple clone troopers shot me in the face.
That's what he does.
Yep. Oh god, no one take Maul on me. I want my loser piece of shit Maul. I want to spawn as Maul so I can fall back into 4th place like I do every time I spawn as him. But is there anything from the episode I'm missing? I feel like I'm missing something from the last 2 episodes. I can't put my finger on what it is.
Probably. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Going back and like rewatching them, you're like, oh wow, that happened. Cool.
I'm glad to know that the filler, there's not a lot of filler now. Now, is Omega still, the Bad Batch didn't grab her back, did they rescue her? Or was she prisoner throughout the whole episode?
No, they got her.
They did? Oh, thank God. Yeah, I
Riker.
can't remember how they rescued her. How did that happen?
Oh, just Star Wars BS.
Okay, no wonder why I forgot.
Another abandoned, in quotes right there, abandoned facility somehow has all of its power available to it, and she's able to turn on long-range communication and calls the Bad Batch, and they find her. And
yeah, she
escapes in a lifeboat real quick, and they catch her in the air when she's falling to the ground. Otherwise, she would have died. It's typical Star Wars BS.
And then she like fooled the little like toy robot, I think. He's like, my leg's broken. I'm neurotic. Because apparently robots in Star Wars are neurotic. And I'm gonna die. You suck, Maul. You fucking suck. Yeah, you look cool, but you suck. Anyways. I don't think Darth Maul sucks. I want to see a Darth Maul show where he just fucks up again and again and again. You know what Darth Maul reminds me of? Did you ever see the X-Men animated show from the 90s?
Oh yeah.
Like in that show,
sequences of all time.
Hell yeah. That's my ringtone on my phone. It's but anyways, like in that show, Wolverine would always be like talking shit. He's like, I'm gonna carve you up, bub. And then someone would just knock him out and he'd be like, bleh! And it's like, that's Darth Maul. He just talks shit and then gets his ass handed to him. But everyone thought Wolverine was cool. Because he was cool. He is cool. But he's not as powerful. Like, Dooku is way more powerful than Darth Maul. But I play as Darth Maul instead of Dooku because Darth Maul looks cool as fuck. Yeah. Dooku's just like some old dude in a fucking robe. You know, I mean, I know it's Christopher Lee and he was Dracula and blah, blah, blah. And really, if you want to think of it as a... Now I actually want to play as Christopher Lee. Not as Darth Maul, but as Christopher Lee.
You play a Dracula.
Hell yeah.
People mob the hell out of this game. It's annoying as shit.
Actually, I gotta play this on PC so then I can fucking mod that so I can get Christopher Lee Dracula. Like, you could just like, but you could like suck their blood and you get like the little ding sound as they die. No, I don't want him. I don't want him. Here, just give me this dude.
Somebody modded it, and instead of Grievous, you're running around as like a creature from one of the Alien movies, wailing on people.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, you could be one of the aliens from Aliens. Oh my god. I just ate dick out there.
We're gonna lose this one.
Yeah, I know. This is awful.
Yeah, but it does with Fennec being basically on like the good side, like back to the show. Like Fennec Shand is like on the good side of the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Like we now know that she and Boba Fett, like we kind of know like their origin story now.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, because Fennec,
she's working with the quote unquote good Kaminoan to help Omega from getting annihilated, basically. So it's like Fennec Shand is like a good bounty hunter, and maybe Boba Fett is a good. And there's good and bad bounty hunters.
Well, we never know if he was a bad guy. We never know if he was a bad guy.
I know.
That was never established.
We get into that with the Boba Fett show.
I think so too.
There's a difference. Like Cad Bane's a bad bounty hunter. Fennec Shand is a good bounty hunter.
Cad Bane doesn't give a shit about killing kids.
There's good and bad with all of it.
Yeah. Well, is Hondo a good bounty hunter?
He's just a pirate. He's not really either.
Because I swear to God, there was one episode.
Like, he's basically like a Han Solo.
Yeah.
Basically the same character.
But he's Han Solo if he's like Jamaican. But then here's the thing though. Like there was an episode where like Hondo said something like "kill the kid," and then later he's like, "Hey kid, I'm here to help you," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" But I don't know. Maybe I saw it wrong when I was watching it, but I swear to God he did that.
Possible.
But then they make him like this likable character. He's like, "Hey, it's me, Hondo, your best friend." Like if you go to like the Star Wars like Disney World Resort, I want to go there for my vacation. By the way, if you go to the Star Wars Disney World Resort, like they have the fucking like when you go on, they have Hondo introducing you to the fucking Millennium Falcon ride.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Like when you fly it, he's like trying to help you out and shit, and you have like everyone pressing the buttons and everything. I watch a lot of videos of people going on rides at Disney World. That's a little confession of mine because it makes me feel like a kid again.
That's why I play video games.
Yeah, that's why we like Star Wars. And George Lucas right now is telling us that we're all a bunch of fucking men children. Did you ever see, like, there's, like, this one event he was at, I remember, where he was speaking to, like, a group of Star Wars fans at a convention. And I put it in one of my videos, and he said something like, everyone hates it when I say this, like Disney and 20th Century Fox or whatever. But Star Wars, it's made for 12-year-olds. And then this grown man in the background goes, "Woo!" And everyone starts cheering. I'm like, God, you guys are such fucking idiots. He just called you all children.
You know who it's made for.
Yeah.
I still love it.
I don't know. I think that guy it's like, oh my God. But you know what? Here's the thing: you can still love Star Wars, and adults like I watch Star Wars, but I also watch, Fellini films and Truffaut
Well,
films, and
the movies are absolutely made for children, but the cartoons and the live action television shows are not. Those are made for the grown-ups.
Was Revenge of the Sith made for children?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nah, they murdered children in it.
Pre-teens. You don't see
Okay, that's fair. It's like teenagers. It's fair.
And they blow up they kill children in the first trilogy, in the second trilogy, and in the third trilogy. They blow up like whole planets. Just nobody thinks about that shit.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like Anakin standing there next to a bunch of younglings. You're like, oh my god, the horror! It's like, fucking Darth Vader blew up planets already. And why are you guys bitching about 15 children? It's like, yeah, that, Darth Vader,
think because
the Empire murdered millions already. Why are you crying about whatever?
I think because logically it makes absolute sense what you're saying. I think it's just when you see it on camera in film, it's incredibly different. The context of it, the cinematic language of it, is much more mature when you're seeing, someone ignite a weapon in front of a young child instead of seeing a big rock being blown up. Or when you're seeing a grown man being burned alive. Well, now that scene, I had to say, in Revenge of the Sith, I wouldn't even say that's preteen, but that could have been in an R-rated film. That's a guy getting burned alive. But because they wanted to make money, they decided to make a PG-13, but that could have been fucking R, that scene. People don't think about that, though, because it's not blood and guts and all that. It's all about how we interpret the imagery that we see.
And I know I've definitely touched on it before, but that's where I guess I fooled myself with the first 15 minutes of The Force Awakens, where I had this hope that maybe Star Wars had grown up.
Yeah.
Because we get that horror scene in the first 15 minutes. The stormtroopers or the First Order troopers or whatever,
burning down the village.
To burn and annihilate everybody in that with flamethrowers and everything. It's like, oh shit, Star Wars grew up, and then they 10 minutes later they backtrack it, and it's cute stuff and funny stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, all right, you had me in the first half there. You had me.
I think
first
you touch
15
upon
minutes, whatever.
I think you touch upon something very fundamental that people don't really bring up is, although Star Wars is made for kids, adults grew up with it, and you can make it for adults now. Now, I'm not saying have Zack Snyder come in and, have, someone's head get fucking ripped off and smashed in by another guy's foot.
Which, actually, that's literally what's going to happen. He does have a movie going. And that's what he wants to do, is, an insane, Ichi the Killer type situation.
Wait, what? Zack Snyder has a Star Wars deal?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
What? Oh my god, it's gonna be so fucking stupid. I love it.
I'm pretty sure it's him, and it's just he just wants to do a murder fest with Star Wars.
Dude, I'm for it. Dude, I'll watch 2 hours of Darth Vader murdering people, and then I'll come on my show, and then I'll bitch about how, there was no character or anything, when really I asked for it. So it's okay.
Yeah.
He has my permission. The movie's gonna suck, and I'm gonna love every second of it.
So what? That's fine.
Yeah.
Give me a horror movie or a slasher type film in the Star Wars universe. Hell yeah, I'm behind that.
Yeah.
I'll watch that.
I still want cauterized wounds, essentially, with the lightsabers.
It's kind of what Disney, or I guess Marvel, Disney, whatever. That big conglomerate has that's really where they've succeeded with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Is those movies are not all the same.
Yeah, they're not.
They're all over the place with genre and tone and feel and it's not all the same thing. Which, there's 9 Star Wars movies that are exactly the same.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, they're the same fucking cutesy
they
shit.
They feel exactly the same. There's no real tone change amongst them. A little bit of, dude's my dad. Oh, you got me.
Yeah. But that
they got
one,
us a couple
like,
of times,
Empire totally felt different throughout. It felt darker throughout. Like, still Revenge of the Sith, it still felt kind of kiddie. Like, there was still a bunch of fucking cute shit in there. Like, when the Emperor's fighting...
This is where the fun begins, and it was 2.5 hours of this is where the fun begins.
Yeah.
We were all right there with them in that cockpit for 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Because they still have, like, scenes of humor that don't belong there. Like, when Yoda's fighting the Emperor, like, alrighty, fine. You went here. I think it's stupid that Yoda's fighting in the first place, but whatever. We're here now. And then you have, like, the Emperor, like, when he defeats Yoda, quote-unquote, although Yoda couldn't have just jumped back up the fucking, like, chairs and fought him again, but whatever. He just kind of gave up. Nobody ever points that shit out. Anyways, I digress. Like, he's literally, like, hanging onto the chair after he defeats Yoda, a huge low point moment for the Jedi, and he goes, heh, 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 slips a little bit and goes, yeah, yeah. It's like, what the fuck? Why are you putting in a joke, George? I hate it when jokes, I know,
been a little straighter. Yeah.
Like, guess what, Marvel, they put in jokes, but they fucking know from the start, hey, this shit's gonna have jokes. You know, Star Wars, like, they have jokes, but it's just like 3PO and it's within his character. You don't see the serious characters putting in jokes. But then when you see, like, the Emperor doing silly shit, you're like, oh, come on. Although it's still kind of enjoyable to see him just enjoying being evil. But yeah, like, Empire's the only one that's not exactly the same. And that's the problem. All the Star Wars shit is the same. Even this show, I like how they're expanding stuff. But it's like, can we get, like, a fucking Star Wars movie where... like, it could be more mature. It could be like, can we get a movie about Darth Vader? I hope that the Obi-Wan series is more mature. I hope it's something where it's about a man living with deep regrets, thinking about where he went wrong, what he could have done right, and learning to grow as a person. And you can have your action scenes sprinkled in there, but please, for the love of God, just make it something different. That's why we like The Mandalorian. It just did the bare minimum of just doing something different. Being competent and kind of unique. That's all we're asking.
And it was like something that I touched on earlier, like The Mandalorian has given you the non-magical side of Star Wars. Like we didn't see lightsabers for a while in that show. You know, that's,
first season, yeah.
I don't know. It's just really nice what they're doing with the other side of Star Wars. Like this universe is so huge that it can't just be about 3 people that use magic, and their enemies. Spread it out a little bit. Let's focus on the clones. Let's focus on the bounty hunters. It's I don't know. There's just so much material here.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and I'd like to see something about the clones that's not just a kid's show, because the stuff is still a kid's show. They kill kids in it, but still, tonally, they're playing the cute little music whenever Omega opens the door. Wrecker can't figure it out, like, it's still, like, made, to be cute and all that. I want something that's not cute, but not to the extent of Zack Snyder. That's just going the extreme opposite. I just want something that has thought and feeling to it. Like, look at Avengers Endgame. Who would have thought in a million years that Disney would have made a film where they kill off everybody, essentially?
Pretty much.
Yeah. That was Infinity War, not Endgame. But, I mean, you could make the argument, well, yeah, Bambi's mother got shot and all that. But I'm like, yes, those are extreme situations. But still, like, this was a huge decision. And they had to go forward with it. They're like, we're going to murder everyone here. But I guess their excuse is, well, we have the comic book, so everyone knows what's going to happen, so they can tell the kids, it's going to be okay, I read the comics, look. But here with Star Wars, yeah, I'd like to see them try something that requires something that contains more than 5 minutes of actual dialogue and then 20 minutes of plot. Which is what I see all the time in Star Wars. Like, we get it. The prequels were boring. They talked too much. But that's because the dialogue was bad. Maybe if they talked and had good dialogue, the movie works. Like, I don't know, the first half of The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
But it is called Star Wars. But still, there's a lot of subtext in Wars. Maybe it's because we're grown men and we're asking too much from a kid's show. But make something for the kids like this. Like, this show is cool. Like, the Bad Batch is cool because that's a show for kids, but also builds the universe that you can plug into the adult stuff. You know, like, because Mandalorian is not as much for kids, you know. Like, it is made for kids with Baby Yoda and all that, but it's still, more or less something that, people who grew up loving Star Wars can embrace. So for this, as of itself, the Bad Batch, tonally I'm okay with what they do. And although I'm annoyed with how they rescued Omega with the same rescue plot, I'm glad that they rescued her, and the whole fucking season isn't about saving Omega, which is what I was afraid it was going to be.
Hopefully, yeah, I can't be a back and forth like this for the rest. There's, 5 episodes left if we're going to 16?
Yeah.
Let's kick it up a notch. The Bad Batch has, they know they have the Empire and the quote-unquote evil bounty hunters hunting them down, so we'll see who they run to. Is, like they mentioned at the end of this episode, call Sid, who's Rhea Perlman's Trandoshan character, to see if she can help him out. Like, is Sid gonna betray him now? What's happening?
Yeah.
Who exactly are they gonna turn to for help?
Yeah.
They have one Kaminoan. God, it's so hard to say that word. One Kaminoan on their team, basically.
Yeah,
and Fennec Shand is like no longer trying to kill them. So it's like they're a little bit eased up, but yeah, who do they turn to for help now? Who's out there? Rex and Ahsoka, are they coming back? Boba? Who?
Oh, yeah. Maybe it could be Boba Fett. Maybe it could be.
That's what I'm thinking.
So Boba Fett actually helped in the rebellion and then worked for the Empire?
He's got no love for either side.
Oh, you know what probably happened.
we
Get ready
know
for
that.
some heartbreak. I think they're going to kill Omega at some point. And it's going to be in the hands of Boba Fett. And it was while defending the rebellion, and it's because they fucked something up. And that's when he decided, you know what, everyone I get close to dies. I'm just going to work for whoever pays me. And I'm not going to get close to anyone. Which, if that was his thing about, being sort of a vagabond, then why not be a fucking Jedi? Because that's what being a Jedi is all about, is not being connected to anyone. He chose the wrong profession, man. That's Boba's ultimate sort of tragedy. Although I am worried they might make him Force sensitive now. I have a feeling Disney's going to do that.
They don't need to do that.
I know. I'm afraid they are, though. It's Disney, and they're like, oh no, give him the Force. That would be cool. Unless, like, Filoni's writing guys who are fans like us go, no, we don't want that. Like, that's stupid. Because luckily Filoni's a fan, but he's not writing it himself. So.
And after that sequence in the Robert Rodriguez directed episode, I don't think it's necessary for him to get Force powers. He's a badass without them. He proved it.
Well, I think that's his point, is that we're going to find out he has Force powers, but he doesn't want to use them because the Jedi killed his dad.
That'd be nice.
That's what I mean. Like, a Jedi killed his dad, and he doesn't want anything to fucking do with it. But there'll be a line in there like, you have the Force. There's something special in your blood. And probably Omega will become like a Jedi or something. We might see her in live action as an adult Jedi. So she starts out as like a cute little Padawan in the show. That's more along the lines of like where Disney could go, where I'd be cool with it. But at the same time, it's like, it's kind of lame. But I'm cool with it if they go there. It can't be everything we want. There has to be balance, like the Force. Not everything can be according to exactly what we plan it to be. And that's the problem I think with a lot of these properties, is if something isn't exactly like a fan wanted it to be, they get pissed off. Like, I'm sure there's a guy on YouTube who hates The Mandalorian, who has like a gazillion views because he doesn't like The Mandalorian. Great. You have your right to your opinion. But we can't just like decide on what we love. It's not exactly the way that we
If
envision.
Star Trek has taught you anything, that hate is easy.
Yep.
So
Just like The Last of Us Part 2. I hate how hate's a theme in that game because it's so easy to use. Oh, everyone kills each other. Oh, how unique. You got me. I'm mad because you killed you. I'm gonna.
And I'm not even gonna say it's hard to love. It's difficult to do anything besides hate. And that, if you don't figure that out.
Yeah. And you know
Quickly,
what? That would be great if the the show about Obi-Wan could be about love, the Book of Boba Fett could be about hate. Like, I want to see the dark side of the universe represented. And Boba's like not a good or a bad guy. He's just someone that's filled with hate. Who maybe becomes a little humbled after he comes out of the Sarlacc pit. Who knows? Maybe he's like, wow, I was such a fucking hard ass and so full of myself. I didn't notice when I was being taken advantage of. That's probably why he fucking went out to fucking kill Bib Fortuna. Because he's like, you fucked me over, man. Like, and I was stupid to trust people like you. And again, I worked for someone. And look what happened when I worked for them. Now, you know what? I don't need to work for anyone. I'm my own fucking boss. Because whenever I work for anyone or trust anyone, they fuck me over. So you're right. He's going to become like the crime boss of the galaxy.
That's what I'm thinking.
Dude. That would
Bounty
be
Hunters
sick.
Guild. Run by him and Fennec Shand. That's what I'm seeing.
She's his queen. I mean, they kind of clearly had him as a queen and a queen. How he's sitting on the throne and she's drinking the blue alcohol, whatever it is.
Oh, she's drinking the blue milk. That's awesome.
There wasn't milk, it was booze. It was like glowing. But, like, yeah, I think that's essentially what they're going to do with him. And I think we are definitely going to see Boba in this show. We're going to see young kid Boba, though. Because he's still a kid at this point, you got to remember. So he's not going to have, like, a little Boba Fett helmet and all that. I don't think they're going to give him, like, little Mando armor. He's just going to be, like, himself with, like, the long hair and shit. Which, we didn't need to see that in the Clone Wars, but again, they're making shit cool. That's what Filoni does, man. He cools it up because he's a fan. And he's not a fan that's a hater, man. He just loves what he loves. Like, yo, I gotta say, like, episode 3 is still kind of it's not that great of a movie, like, as a movie itself, but, you know, the way it all comes together is interesting. It's just, you know, it's everyone else who made it. Oh, shit. Having said that, did you have anything else you wanted to add, or I really don't have much more to say other than,
yeah, I think we got it. I think we covered most of it, yeah.
It's going to be another episode 10, with 6 more to go, so there's probably not going to be, like, the real amazing episodes will come in later. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to point out. If you watch the trailers, there was, like, a shot in there where there's sort of like the pre-ATSTs that they had, like the AT-ATs, I think they called them. No, they're ATTs. The ATT, before the AT-ATs were there, and they were storming a village. Yeah, it looked like maybe Naboo, it maybe could be where, it could be Mandalore, I'm not sure. Actually, you know what, now that she's Boba's sister, I think it's Mandalore. Those statues, they don't look Nabooian, they look Mandalorian from what I remember. I think somehow Mandalore and the Mandalorians tying into this show as well.
That'd be nice.
And remember how, like, when Bo-Katan...
Maybe we'll get... Yeah, I was going to say, like, maybe we'll get more of an explanation of what the Darksaber means and all that, if that is Mandalore. If the Empire's there to take out Mandalore for some reason.
Yeah. I think he's there to take out Mandalore for some reason. Remember when they said in a line, Mandalore, that place got turned into glass. And then they said he's a traitor to his people and all that. I think there's way more to it than just like, oh, he didn't give a shit about them, he didn't give a shit about Mandalore. There's a reason he didn't give a shit, and it's because they fucking broke his heart and hurt him.
Yeah, maybe the Empire destroyed it.
Yeah, remember they say
That
they
would
turn
make
it to
sense.
glass. This is probably the scene where they turn it to glass,
Yeah.
and they just
That'd be
totally
awesome.
fucking destroy Mandalore. And that's
One
why
of
he's just
their
like, yeah,
firsts.
whatever. They turn it to glass, and my sister died there. What do you want to fucking know about Mandalore? God damn, man. There's so many ways they could end this show. That could happen, and then the next season would be the extinction of the clone race.
Yeah.
I think that would be it, and that would be like a great, perfect like two season deal, like the destruction of Mandalore and the destruction of the clone race, and then stay tuned for the Book of Boba Fett and all that. You know, be a great way to fucking go, man. Look at this, man. We're in the first two places. So having said that, that's all we have on this episode of talking about the Bad Batch, and. Yeah, John, check out Cinema Obscura. I edited the closing credits to your last episode, I believe.
Oh, that's awesome.
Was it the last episode you did?
I don't, what credits? I don't remember.
To Cinema Obscura.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I...
You
yeah,
said
I
you said
edited...
you added. Oh, you added. Yeah. Yeah, that was what was that? First season 7 on Can TV. One
Yeah.
of the music episodes. Yeah.
Yes, I'm trying to plug
Sorry,
your...
I'm like caught up in the game. I wasn't.
No,
wasn't
you're
paying
good,
attention.
you're good. I got
switched
shot
gears,
in the
like Star
face.
Wars. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, no, it's my thing.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah, no, that was for one of the episodes for the new series that's coming out to be dropping in the fall.
Oh, nice.
Pretty excited about it. But yeah, that was all music videos.
And if people want to submit their films to you, they don't have to just be in Chicago, right? They could be anywhere.
Yeah, we're worldwide.
Oh, well,
If
there you
have
go.
something you want to share on the television show, please feel free. We have Australian contributors. We have contributors from Mexico, France, Canada. We are literally worldwide. Vietnam. We're all over the place. So
Vietnam,
if you have
wow.
something, feel free to send us some stuff. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yes, and where can they send it? What's the
Cinema
email?
Obscura Chicago. Cinema Obscura Chicago. It's cinema with an S at Gmail.
And I'll
We
plug
also
this
have,
in after I'm done rolling to remember to do that. Remember to remind me, because I'll probably forget. And Obi-Wan killed me.
Nice. Oh wait, got me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a Vimeo page with 47 episodes up on there. There's a Spotify with a whole bunch of songs on there. So just trying to represent the independent artists, filmmakers, musicians, painters, everybody from
Nice.
everywhere, really.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for doing this, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you and talking about Star Wars, nerding out about all the stuff like nobody else I know watches the cartoon show. And it's like, y'all are missing out. Y'all are missing out on some of the best shit. Because they can exterminate the clone race in a cartoon show, but it doesn't cost as much in the visual effects department. You know? That's why they do this shit.
Cheap. It's cost
Exactly.
effective.
It's cheap, but it looks good, you know? For a while, it looked on par with like a PS2 game, but now they look good on their own. But yeah, guys, if you liked what you saw, feel free to subscribe to ypareviews.com. I'm sorry, what? .com. That's where you find the website. Be sure to subscribe to YPA Reviews and hit that subscribe button. Also, feel free to check out ypareviews.com to check out all of my written material.